Hey guys, and welcome to Tales from the Fog. I'm your host, Casey, and with me, as always, is the amazing and wonderful Veronica. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Anything new going on?
Nothing really much to report this time. No auditions. Been working out 4 to 5 times a week, including Decay Brigade practice. That's it. It's been kind of boring. We've been, packing and doing boring domestic stuff, so nothing really fun or exciting has come down the pike. Just preparing for fun and exciting stuff coming down the pike later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's been some cool stuff. If you guys are following our Instagram, you'll see the video that I posted, which, of course, you're following our Instagram, so you've seen it, right? At the end of the video, I think it's still the most recent post on our Instagram, but at the very end, I had 3 jumping sequences, and it was Veronica was the first of the last 3. She hit 6.5 feet slide jumping. So, to translate to bodies, that's about 6 bodies, but it's not accounting for the height. So, you've probably seen a Decay Brigade show. When the sliders lay down that you're going to jump over them, the height, begins at slider 1 and then goes on, through 6. So you have to clear, a little bit more. Like, your trajectory has to be such that you clear the first monster and the 6th monster or the 10th or however many you're jumping. Yeah. So while we're practicing to build our strength for long distances, we have started laying out a tape measure for consistency. So what we've been doing is we figured out that Double D's jump last year of 11 people turned out to be 11 feet 6 inches across. Now, when you start jumping 7, 8, 9 bodies, you're not jumping over vital organs anymore. You're jumping over knee pads and feet. Yeah,
and that's just
much rather break someone's leg than their back.
Yeah, it's just a safety thing. But as a result, it does, shrink the distance a little bit. It also shrinks the height a little bit. It's, it's the nature of the game. That's just how we do it when we jump 3, 4, 5. We're generally over torsos. We tend to aim for feet, but it doesn't always work that way. Legitimate long distance for personal bests and for records tend to be over feet. So, we keep that in mind as well. But we're utilizing the, similar to like long jumping in, the Olympics or wherever. It's a consistent, you're jumping 13 feet, 15 feet, 16 feet, however long. We're doing it so that we're setting up in the shows last year, we had those little black and white sticks that we would jump over. Yeah. We're setting those up. So we've got one at 0, and then we push the second one out, and that's our distance marker that we're going for. So we've got, we start like a typical 3-man jump is about 4 feet, which we now have all of our female sliders legitimately sliding it, like no problem jumping it, which makes me so proud. Anyway, but to continually push the envelope, we've been pushing it farther and farther. So the first time we did this, we put it at 6 feet, and I cleared it and I lost my mind because I don't even think I jumped that far last year. And again, we're not taking into account the bodies and the height and everything. Keep that in mind. But this past practice, we had it set at 6'6". 2 practices ago was 6'6", and I cleared that. And then our last practice, I pushed it to 7 feet and I cleared it, but I dropped my feet at the end and I took the little speed bump with me. So I would have cleared it. If it were bodies, I would have cleared it. But, it looked like a yard sale because I took the stunt with me as I slid away. So I have the 7 feet, which means that I would easily be 6 people. Right now, the record is 5 for women.
For women, the record's 5. Which Veronica has.
Which I have. Which
so
feels cool.
She might beat her own record.
So that's the goal, is to jump 6, if not more. So the training for that has been intense. So not a lot of fun stuff as far as like auditions or this or that, but like just continually pull-ups, push-ups, crunches, lunges, side lifts with the weights in one hand and leaning up like, you're tying your shoes, just like all sorts of stupid, monotonous training that apparently is helping. And I'm not the only one who's training like that.
Spats, he hit a personal record of 9.5 feet.
Yeah, he flew.
Insane.
And that's another guy who has been training consistently. You
Yeah.
can tell the ones who have been putting in that extracurricular work are really starting to pull ahead. And I mean, we don't compare each other to each other. We compare ourselves to ourselves.
Yeah.
So we are all pushing those boundaries. And you can tell, like, Ruth has gotten so strong. I mean, she was a strong athlete before. Now she's an even stronger slider. And
Yeah.
she's just getting farther and farther in her jumps. Her in-air control is so much greater. Like, she's killing it, guys. And we even have another female who is working her way into being a very strong, strong, confident slider. And I can't wait to see what she does, too.
Yeah,
So
'cause every practice she's doing better and better and better.
she really is. And it has to do with confidence. Like,
Yeah.
her physiology isn't changing from practice to practice. Maybe she's getting a little bit stronger. It's in her mind. In her mind, she's more confident every practice.
Yeah.
So she's flying farther. She's sliding longer. She's running faster. Like, she's actually starting to kind of soak up the little bits, like, because you don't want to feed somebody, like, a whole bunch of advice, like, in one sentence. You want to be like, make sure you pick up your knees and run on your heels and lean forward and then come back. Like, you don't want to, like, throw too much, just, like, one thing at a time for them to focus on and get in and then build on. She's actually starting to soak those up and apply it. It was really cool to watch, like, someone just kind of running what is their fastest but is not a very fast run at all to, like, whoa, she's booking it. Like, you can see the progress.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
The other cool thing at last practice was shout out to Slider Nation over at Queen Mary's Dark Harbor. They had a couple new recruits that they needed to train how to slide. And so they came out towards the end of our practice and we had a big group slide out and it was a lot of fun. And we got to, work a little bit with their new sliders and work with some of the crew that we knew from Sliders United show. And it was really cool.
It was great to have that big group there. Like, it reminded me of the old school slider practice days where you just had dozens of people there, whole bunches of people were lined up ready to slide. Like, it gave me that excitement that I used to get in August and September training for Scary Farm, of just all these people who are just, like, in all their gear, wearing all black, like, super excited to jump over the next obstacle or under the next obstacle. Like, it was really cool to see. So their new recruits, same kind of thing. It's a mental thing. It's building the confidence to hit the ground.
Yeah.
That's like, it's just a fear, especially when they see, people like Spats and Double D and Trey just, like, launching themselves through space. And they're like, yeah, I can jump over one speed bump.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting them to, that's okay. Jump that one speed bump, hit it, land on it. Who cares? The fact that you hit the ground is what gets you there. So, like, towards the end of practice, they were a little bit more confident. And once, like, DB practice wrapped and they were kind of on their own, you could tell they were a little bit more, like, those are their peeps, like, the people they know. They were a little bit more comfortable. And then rightfully so. I mean, in my early days, the sliders who were really good were super intimidating to me. So I can totally relate to where they were. But they had some sliders who were really strong.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I knew they were experienced sliders, but they flew.
That's right, because you didn't go to the Slider Nation show.
No, it was a Wednesday. It was a Rue night, so I had to.
The Sliders United.
I was babysitting. Yeah, so I was very impressed with their skill set and their attitudes. And they were humble. They were friendly. Very cool. I mean, competitive in a good way, not like you're going down, bitch, or anything like that. It was a great experience, and I mean, I kind of hope that it happens again. I'd like to see them come around and be able. And you can tell, like, DB practice is hard, but when there's somebody else there to kind of, like, raise the bar, even just, like, emotionally, you can tell that the boys are working harder.
Yep.
And it was cool to see them pushing themselves just to see how far they can go or what stunt they can pull off or stuff like that. So,
yeah, it was really cool.
So rock on to those guys for showing up and laying it down.
Yeah. So today we went to Knott's Berry Farm. And so what did you think of Ghost in Life?
I thought it was great. We showed up a little late in the day. I think park was open 10 to 10. We showed up at about 1. So I'm sure there were a lot of events that we missed. I think of it as like a live action World of Warcraft scenario where I'm sure a lot of quests were available from 10 to noon, let's say. Not as many quests were available about the time that we went. We were able to catch a quest. which was fun, and interact with some of the characters. We got to see some friends of ours, doing their thing, which was cool. I thought it was really cute. I thought that, especially, we'll go through the event chronologically, but what the culmination of the story was really
up until
cute.
What we saw. We haven't seen the actual ending.
We didn't stay for the hoedown, so we don't actually know the full conclusion, but we stayed, the event that happens at 2:30. We stayed through that, and I thought it was so cute.
Yeah.
So, walk us through.
I thought you were walking us through.
Oh, am I?
Sure.
Okay. When we first got there, we saw, what looked like employees dressed in the old-timey garb, except a little bit more put together. So you can kind of spot the characters in the story pretty quickly. They looked like they worked there, but they had no name tags on. Yeah. Was how you can tell who was involved and who you can interact with and stuff. They make eye contact with you. They, casually talk to you, kind of like imagine playing a video game and you're just walking through a town and you just hear voiceover from random places where the NPCs are interacting with you. It's kind of like that, where you walk by and you just hear it being like, howdy, or beautiful day, ain't it? And just the things that just random people are saying. And then there's interactions going on between some of them happening off to the side. So they're always engaged in some way with some guest. So we went all the way down to the mayor's office because we know the mayor. We wanted to say hi. So we saw him right away and got a picture and he gave us a very brief, rundown of what was coming up and just gave us a little bit of insight on his character's perspective and what he sees and what he hears and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then we actually left Ghost Town, did something else, and then ended up going back to Ghost Town. And then we came back for the show, right? The saloon show? Or did we do anything?
No, we just came in to go to Ghost Town.
So
what we did is we went to Ghost Town, and then we ended up at the SA office.
Oh, right.
And then that's where we got our quest.
See, that's why I wanted you to tell the story. So, okay. We went we were walking back up Fog Alley towards the front, and then we got some really cool pictures of some of the Peekins and what I think events might happen if those characters were there. I imagine it was actually lunchtime, so the characters may have been off stage at the time. But
because the sheriff was gone, the barber was gone.
Yeah, and that happens because if they clock in at 9, it was 1, they needed to clock out for lunch. It makes sense. So we got to the assay office and we read their cool little, it's like the same day. It's like Groundhog's Day, where the same day repeats. At least that's the vibe that I get, because every time they say it's Founders Day, they're celebrating the 75th.
75th, yeah.
Okay, 75th anniversary of the founding of Calico. So that's what the hoedown was for. That's what everyone's gathering for. It's a big old party. And the guy prints a little newspaper, and it has some really cool little events and stuff. And we got a picture of it, so that'll be up on the blog post associated with this episode as well. But he was he was just chit-chatting with us, shooting the breeze, and then he said, well, what do you guys have planned? Where are you off to? And we said, well, we don't really have any plans. He's like, well, tell you what, I have a package to deliver. Can you bring it over to Town Hall? And so, you WoW fans will realize that, a little exclamation point appeared above his head. And so we accepted the quest. We took the package. We walked over to the Town Hall, and the mayor wasn't there, but some other lady was.
His wife.
His wife was there. And let me just pause for a moment to acknowledge how adorable this woman was. She was beautiful. Her makeup was perfect. Her costume was perfect. It was just great. I was probably staring at her and she's like, why is this crazy lady staring at me? But I was just soaking it all in. I'm just I adore you so much. Just her whole outfit and everything was 10. I loved it. So anyway, we delivered the package, had a brief little interaction. She again reiterated the same thing about the timing. So they said, I hear an event's going to happen at about 2:30. If you're going to be around and you're not doing anything else, maybe you might want to cruise over there. So they kind of gently, let you know what events are going to be taking place.
The problem is I don't know if this was because of our timing, but I feel like once you have the first quest, the next interaction should automatically lead to another quest.
Correct.
And so it's we got one quest and then we kind of hit a dead end. And
yeah,
go do something else.
So imagine the question mark above the mayor's wife's head should have turned into an exclamation point, but instead it just vanished and it was the end of the quest.
Yeah.
The quest line was gone. So, yeah, we were hoping and she even asked us, she's like, well, what do you guys have going on? And we were like, oh, cool, another quest. And ended up being just, well, stick around because at 2:30 this thing's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, but it could have been, if we had been there at 10, could have been a different story.
Maybe.
If we go there on the weekend, could have been a different story. I mean, we went on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Surrounded by school children who all came in on buses. So it could have been a very different experience. But I am grateful that they had the whole thing playing out on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I didn't know at first. Maybe I thought maybe we'd go there and nothing. But actually, the friend of ours who does work there posted a picture of him getting ready. So I was like, oh, okay, they must work today because he's at work. So, but yeah, I thought it was adorable. So, do you want to elaborate about the events?
Yeah, so we can talk about, so after that we went and we were going to hang around to see what happened at 2:30. Mm-hmm. So we went and saw the Calico Saloon show, which is actually the first time I've seen it in years. It was a pretty fun little show.
It's the first time I had seen it ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd walked by it, and in all the years that I worked there, I never sat and watched it. I know it's a different show all the time too.
Yeah.
The show that I saw may have involved Goldie.
I think Goldie was involved in one of them.
So, yeah, I mean, it was a very voluptuous, scantily clad woman singing and dancing in Can.
And they mention her throughout this show.
Yeah, they do. They reference her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like a non-appearing character.
Yeah.
In a fun way. I thought it was a great show. I mean, they played it the best they could. They're playing to maybe 40 people in this tiny space.
Place.
They had a live band, live drummer. Oh, fun fact about the drummer.
Oh, yeah. So the drummer is wearing it's probably different costume, but the same aesthetic costume that I wore at Not Scary Farm.
In 13 Axe Murder Manor?
Yeah. So he's wearing the butler costume. So he has the vest and the orange shirt and the pants and everything. So
it may very well be the same thing.
It could be the same costume. Who knows?
Yeah, but that was a fun little peek. So we have a picture of him specifically in the costume with recognize this kind of thing. So that was fun. The dancers were great. Very talented. You can tell they had backgrounds in dance. Dancers always look for the extension when a dancer raises her hand in the air.
Yeah.
What are her fingers doing? They were dancers. All of them were. Their singing was good. I mean, it was just a cute little story.
Yeah.
They danced on the bar.
To get out of the sun for a bit and
it was nice.
Hang out.
It was nice and cool in there. It was... Willow says hi. It was, we got ourselves some sarsaparillas. We figured when in Rome. That was fun. So we hung out there until the show ended about 5 or 10 minutes before the event that we were waiting for. And the event that we were waiting for turned out to be the bad guys. The bad guys were, they're going to rob the bank.
Yeah.
Because the stagecoach had just dropped off from $50,000 worth of gold or $5,000 worth of gold. I forget.
I don't know. A bunch of gold.
A whole bunch of gold, guys.
Lots of all the gold.
All of the gold was dropped off at the bank in Calico. And so these guys picked up on it and wanted to rob it. So there were people gathered around who had also heard about the event. And the bad guys whose pictures are up in various places around Ghost Town. So you'll recognize their faces. They're like, okay, I need you to let me know when the sheriff's coming, make some sort of weird sound, make some sort of arm gesture, getting the people involved. Yeah. And so the whole thing's playing out. There's a lookout. There's a second lookout. There's a guy in the bank. I think there was one more guy in the bank. There was another gal across the way. They were pretty spread out, as far as their, interactions go. And so you hear, the sound, of spurs walking down the street, the music that's playing in the background. Yeah. So something's coming, but I don't know where they had to come from, but I'm sure it was a walk. So, and then you just see rounding the corner in front of Birdcage down Market Street, you see, the sheriff and this whole posse of kids. Yeah. all the good guys.
Kids and all the good guys coming to conquer.
Oh my God. It was so cute just watching. And these kids are just almost walking in slow motion, just badass, just, scrolled across their foreheads. It was so cute. And so, of course, they have a quick little showdown and, shots fired and the bad guys run away and the sheriff and all the good guys save the day and everything. I'm sure they went and celebrated their saving the day at the hoedown. But we didn't see the hoedown, so we don't know.
Well, I'm sure there's more, because the bad guys still were out on the loose. So
they
there's
were.
Probably more interactions for the next couple hours.
Yeah, and it seemed like one of the deputies or something actually kind of like sort of waved an olive branch to one of them, was like, come back, we'll help you. Like, you know, like sort of like, we'll help you get the help you need sort of thing. And I don't know where that was going, but maybe it was just a throwaway line. I don't know. So yeah, it seemed like there was more that could have gone on, more events that could have been triggered after the fact. We don't know. We were old and tired, and I'm like, you know what? We've been outside for long enough, so we went home.
Yeah, exactly.
But I thought it was really cute. So
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I do want to go back and see it in its full glory, like the opening
first
ceremony.
Thing in the morning.
Yeah, like the opening thing, stay till the hoedown, all that good stuff. So while we were at the farm, we saw something that we had been dying to see and didn't get a chance to check it out the first time that we went when it opened. But we finally got to do the Ghost Town VR.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was super fun. What did you think about it?
I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was kind of short, but it was fun.
It was intense, though. You know, for what it was, like, those robots get right up in your personal space.
Rule number 1, stay out of my personal space.
Rule number 2, out of my personal space.
Number 3, personal space. So you go into this room that's built out, and I think we were actually talking about it on the podcast where we like peeked underneath the thing, and we saw nothing. It actually makes sense that we saw nothing because of the way that they have everything set up, but we didn't even see that little foyer in the front.
Yeah,
like there was nothing in there. So like literally 2 days later, this whole facade is built out, and it's adorable. Again, pictures are on the blog post with this, but they've got like math up on the wall, like how did they figure it out and all this cool stuff. And like, it's a really fun, I thought they did a great job. Like, Knott's Decor, shout out to you guys and gals, because I thought that was adorable. So, we go in, cost us $6. You put $6 on a little game card, like an arcade card. And, you just give them the arcade card, they swipe it, it deducts the however much, $6. And we were escorted in. So we go into room 1, and everything's blocked off with these black curtains. And you've got a pretty good space to move around, and you're standing on a carpet. So the carpet is pretty much your boundary. Like, don't step out of the carpet. But once you get engaged in the game, you don't feel a need to step out of the carpet because there are visual boundaries.
Yeah, they had like within the VR space, there was like kind of stuff that you would hide behind in the ghost towns, like boxes or barrels or whatever, and they're kind of put in the right spot where the edge of the carpet would be. So you would kind of like just, even though they don't really exist in the real world, your brain is still like, oh, I got to stop right here. Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of cool.
It was really fun. So when we first got outfitted, we, got the headset and then handed the gun and then had the headphones put on. And then you can see the other player, but they don't really have much of a shape. Like they're kind of like an outline.
A little robot.
Yeah, they look robotic. And so the idea is like you pretty much play back to back. That way, like you cover, all points of the compass. And, but I didn't notice like when we got hit, like if we had like health points taken away or anything like that.
It didn't seem like it. It seemed like it was just like kind of the same idea as Buzz Lightyear or something where you just literally like just shoot as much as you can and get as many points as you can.
So I noticed a scoreboard when we first got the headset on, and you look around and you can start seeing everything moving around. There is a scoreboard, but it didn't mean anything to me yet because I didn't know how the point system worked or even how difficult the game was. So like it didn't really mean much. So you get everything on, it turns on, you're in the town, and then like shoot at the water tower. And like, well, where's the fucking water tower? You're like looking around trying to find it. Like, oh, there it is.
I was barely paying attention to anything that the voiceover was saying. I was just shooting at stuff. I
was fully engaged in like trying to do what they were telling me to do. I guess the difference in our brains. So, I mean, my accuracy wasn't great. And after a while, I switched I was trying to shoot it like a pistol. And I was like, F this, I'm going paintball style. And I started holding it and shooting it like a paintball gun, which was much easier for me. having the only gun I've ever shot was a paintball gun.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit better accuracy-wise with that, but I kept trying to shoot off screen, thinking like, when you're playing like Time Crisis and it's like, reload.
Yeah, you put your gun down.
You like shoot somewhere else, but you don't have to worry about running out of ammo or reloading. Just shoot your brains out. There's like everything you can find, just shoot it. And then, so there's characters coming at you and they're animated in a really interesting way. Like they don't look like people. So you don't have like some weird PTSD shooting at people thing. You are shooting at targets. Robots. It's very robotic and targets, but it's engaging. So it's not cold. Like you still want to because they're shooting at you. And you can actually shoot at the projectiles that they're shooting at you.
Blow them up before they
and you can blow them up and it looks really cool and it's really loud. And then a big event happens where you're killing the boss. And but he like comes
cool.
That was really neat. And he comes he opens up like a portal, plops it down onto the earth from the portal, and then like starts launching stuff at you. So you have to like shoot body parts and like, so whatever. I'm sure just like after a certain amount of time, it's like you win, even if you didn't hit them. But what I thought was really cool is you were able to reach out and get these like bonuses. So you'd have like...
Oh yeah, they had like the little bonus.
Yeah, like, and at first I wasn't sure how to do it. Like, do you shoot it? Do you grab it? And I tried to like grab it, but it wasn't engaging. So you actually have to like walk forward a little bit and then hit it with your gun, and then you can step back.
Okay.
So you were able to capture them, and then like the little thing that you were firing, like your little laser, whatever, like had a different shape. I'm sure it had a different effect, or I don't really know what it did. It was all happening so fast.
I didn't get any of those either.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I was just too busy shooting stuff.
Oh, was I just stealing them all?
Stuff.
Oh, my goal, like I wanted to get all of the objectives that I could. I wanted to get all the power-ups that I could. Kind of like when I play Lego and all I do is just hit stuff to make it explode. Like, it's the same kind of thing. I just wanted to solve all of the problems. Yeah. And you just wanted to shoot everything inside.
Yeah, I just shot everything inside.
There you go.
Robot, shoot it.
We made a great team. So we only ran into each other once, and it was my fault because I got super excited about something and I elbowed Casey in the back.
Yeah.
But generally we gravitated kind of far apart from each other. And yeah, we did the thing, and there was a end boss and we killed him, and it was like, yay, you did it. And then we saw the scores, and mine, I couldn't decipher exactly how it was, how it broke down. Like I was player 2, but then it said first, and I was like, I don't think I was first. I think Casey wins because he was doing nothing but shooting people. Yeah, so you had more points.
79,000 something, and I think you had like 20.
I had like 34,000.
I did 34,000.
So yeah, I was like, there's no way that I placed first. I barely hit anybody. I was too busy like collecting those little orbiting globes, and I mean, I shot 34,000 points worth of bad guys. I don't know, but I thought it was great. I mean, I don't know how much time passed. It could have been 10 minutes. It could have been 5 minutes.
My guess is probably somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes.
Okay. All right, then. So that's kind of...
For $6, it's a good deal. Because when you think about the Void up in Utah, which we should go check out, I think it's like $35 a person. Mm-hmm. But I want to say maybe it's like a 15-minute.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, then I feel like I got my money worth.
Yeah.
So I love it.
One thing that I think would be really cool is if the carpet that you were on, if it was like a vibrating platform. Because like when the big boss came out and hit the ground, the screen had a little bit of judder, but you had no judder in the real world. So if they had that synced up, and like the boss comes down thing and the ground like shakes,
kind of like those shock things in the controllers.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That would be pretty cool.
You know, it'd just get you in the environment that much more.
Oh sure. I mean, it was already disorienting enough for me. I think I was trying to think about it. I think that's the first time I've ever done anything VR.
Yeah, it was my first, besides like Virtual Boy.
Oh.
Which, let's not count Virtual Boy. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
It was not good.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I want to do it again. Like, immediately, I wanted to fill my card up again and do it again. But then I realized how quickly you could spend a lot of money doing that. You know, it's like $6 a drop. We can justify, especially for the sake of the podcast and our listeners, going through it, sharing our experience for $6 a pop. Like, no big deal. But the fact that I immediately wanted to do it again I was like, oh, I'm onto you.
Well,
That's
see, all
very
that
fun.
means is now that my birthday is coming up, you'll just get me a PlayStation VR and we can do it at home for free.
Oh my God. Guys, if you really want to do something nice for Casey, you can start a GoFundMe to get him a PlayStation VR. Just saying. Excuse me, there's a fly in the room or something. Anyway, so that was neat. Oh, what kind of bummed me out after getting out of the VR experience, though, was realizing what a missed opportunity it was that we didn't catch the 5150 experience in week 1.
It makes me bummed even more.
Yeah. I mean, realizing what it could have been and because, I mean, we know the dudes who did it. So, like, we know the work involved. We got some behind the scenes kind of footage of it. And we saw, like, this was a production. Yeah. And then what it could have been. I mean, I'm really, like, I'm kind of jealous of the people who did get to see it before all of that horrible stuff happened. Because, I mean, if just that video game was that intense and that engaging and fun, what would a live action filmed scary experience have been? I mean, oh my God.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
Well, we might get a chance to find out a little bit about it. We can just perfect segue into some news.
Excellent.
On Saturday, July 29th at Midsummer Scream, Ted Doherty is doing a talk on virtual reality in the horror environment, and they're going to talk about Fear VR.
Excellent.
And they're also going to talk about Larry Bones' Into the Dark. Into the Black? Into the Dark. Into the Black.
Sorry, Larry Bones. Larry. I forget. I think it's Into the Black.
I think it's Into the Black as well. Hold on.
I only see him post about it every day. Oh.
So yeah, we're going to find out some, because for a short, hot second, there was an amazing documentary put up on YouTube about Fear VR, and it was amazing. It was awesome. And then it was taken down within maybe an hour of being put up on. What?
Really? Was
YouTube.
It like unauthorized? Like what happened?
No, it was put up by them. So I don't know if Knott's requested it to be taken down, or if they just got a lot of nasty comments from people we won't mention on this podcast that made that attraction go away. I don't know. But
I was a bitch, guys.
The documentary was amazing, and how they had to film it, and basically like what they were saying in the documentary is it's the first time that they had ever tried to figure it out. They realized that the director and the cameraman and everybody could not be on set because it's 360 degrees. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if you're in that environment, you turn around, you're going to see the director in the director's chair and the guy holding the boom mic, and
which would be really great to see.
I mean, it'd be neat,
honestly.
But if you're trying to be immersed into an environment, you don't want to see it.
You have to see all of it remotely.
So what they had to do is they all had to huddle in a tiny room where they had monitors to monitor the actors, and the actors had to actually make sure that they pointed the camera in the right spot, and they had to hide the microphones in the set, and they had to do this and they had to do that. It was super cool to see how they went through that process just to make that video.
And I mean, that is a step towards epic filmmaking. I mean, once you solve that problem of taking the crew out of the result of the filming, then you can have entire films where, you know, kind of like, think of like in a scary movie and there's the mirror and like the person opens up the medicine cabinet and then closes the mirror and then the scary guy is in that visual.
Yeah.
Like you can, like that's one aspect of a still camera where you can't see behind it, kind of like our eyes. But if you had the ability as the recipient, as the audience, to turn your head, like what else could be there? Because you could be looking at something, turn your head, and then go back, and then it's there.
Yeah.
I mean, which I'm sure they utilized, you know, when they did the thing, but which would still be scary, even if you had been staring in that direction the whole time, and something just appears, and then it's like, you know, like so many things that could be done, you know, filmmaking wise, where you have this new ability to, not only are you eyes, like, you know, the camera is eyes, or, you know, a fly on the wall, or whatever the camera is in that that purpose. But now you have, eyes attached to a swiveling head.
Yeah.
So now you have to create the entire environment, not just what those eyes are saying. I mean, that's like, that is challenging beyond belief, but they did it.
Yeah.
And we don't get to see it.
Well, the good thing is they're going to take everything that they learned from Fear VR and put it in Into the Black, which I just checked. That's the name.
Yay!
Into the Black.
We
Go
did it.
Hi, Larry.
Sorry, Larry.
Sorry,
we
we
love
screwed
you.
the name up.
Look, we've been drinking a little. It's part of the podcast. Relax.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I can quit anytime.
I choose not to. Now, fun fact, the only time we drink now is when we're recording. We really don't drink much anymore.
All right. So now let's segue into a off and on segment on our lovely podcast. Veronica watches a video.
And now we reveal why we drink during the podcast.
Because Veronica's going to watch a video?
Because it usually starts out logical and then progresses into just this weird, psychedelic painting of word-like sounds.
All right, I'm setting it up.
Okay.
All right, so this was sent to us from a listener, and they are from Indonesia.
What?
Yes.
Oh my, thanks you guys. Dude.
Totally cool.
That's amazing.
So it's neat, when you start getting stuff from around the world to add into the show. Super cool.
Whoa.
So shout out to all our worldwide listeners.
Oh my gosh, you guys. That's amazing.
Now, since they're from Indonesia, you're not going to understand anything that's going on.
Okay.
In fact, we would have never found this video because it's in another language. So, I don't even know how you would search for this on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put the video on the blog post, like always. But basically, what this video is it's a group of friends that are dirt biking out in the, kind of looks like rice paddies or out in farm country,
mm-hmm.
right? And they stumble upon a creature, and it's being filmed by a GoPro connected to one of the kids' helmets.
Mm-hmm.
And, they see some kind of real weird creature, and what they're saying it is in the video, which we won't be able to understand, is that it's a hobbit.
Oh, cool.
And, there is actually a long-standing hobbit myth in Indonesia. It's like they're Bigfoot, kind of. There's these little creatures that are hobbits that live out in the jungles and stuff.
Wow. Has Destination Unknown or Expedition Unknown ever gone there? I know they've checked out other places that have hobbit
well, they did
stories.
elves, and they did
in Scotland. Where were they? They were in the rolling hills. Okay,
somewhere.
Sorry, Josh Gates.
Anyway, so this is the video. We're gonna post it up, so if you want to watch it, you can watch along with us. And let's see what she thinks about this video.
All right, bring it on.
Here's a cool little
photography,
funky intro here. Some funky music.
The intro is Fredo, which reminds me of Frodo, which is Hobbit-like. Anyway, we carry on. Wait, come here. I can touch buttons too.
There we go.
Where are his footprints? Guy's multitasking.
Yeah.
He's got a GoPro and a handheld. Is he holding a witch's broom? They're chasing hobbits and they're witches. I hope it jumps out and eats one of them. Oh, just kidding. It's a branch, guys.
It's not a witch's broom. All right.
Nani, before she speaks, is actually going to watch it again.
Oh, we got a double take.
Bow, bow.
All right, she is intently watching. Using her finger to...
Trying to.
try to pause the video.
No, I want to go back here. Come on, fucking thing. See, like it's there and then it's not there. I'm really upset that this isn't letting me pausing when I want it to pause.
Got double tap.
Nope, it doesn't work either.
Triple tap.
Nope, that doesn't work either.
14 tap.
Okay, so the reason I wanted to go back and pause it was because I was concerned that the creature that was on the screen was not leaving footprints. Or like Hot Monster, you know, you look at things on the ground to tell what's around you. Like when I see a thing and I want to see like more about what it is, I look at the ground and see, well, what kind of footprint, what kind of shadow, etc. So, did this thing leave any footprints? And while it appears to be kicking up dust, I don't know if I see footprints or not, but I can't get the stupid video to pause when I want it to pause to really look at it to see. And it's going to go off into the grass soon and I'm not going to be able to see it anymore.
Yeah. So what do you think of the video, though?
I love the idea. So, like, let's suspend disbelief for a second and say that they found a hobbit. This would be really cool to see if I was just riding along, you know, doing my extreme sport thing with my extreme sport friends and like, oh my god, that is a naked tiny person. Like, yeah. That would be pretty great. And you're like, also disturbing, but...
Oh. Ooh, I had to get pause of it.
Oh. Like, so, here's another thing that's bizarre is the camera looks down and then looks up, which to me...
Well, because it looks like its friend crashed.
Oh my god, I didn't even see that before.
Yeah, so the friend saw it and crashed. And so he looks down. I don't know if he was looking like maybe his friend dropped something. And then when he looks up is when he sees what his friend saw.
Okay, so Casey freeze-framed it in a really interesting place. I didn't even see that the guy... Like somebody had fallen down. I was too busy looking at the road, looking for, you know, the Hobbit dude. It looks like a shorter than average person, but in this shot, it doesn't necessarily look like Hobbit size. But I mean, Hobbit size is open to interpretation.
Yeah.
So, I'm just gonna let it play through. He keeps looking back. It does kind of look like he's leaving footprints, so I don't think he's CG'd. Going through it again. And now it's running like really fast. So he's kicking up dirt. Okay, another reason why I'm a little concerned about this is he's super tan, except for his ass.
So it could just be a kid running naked through the woods.
Right, because normally, like... If he was used to being naked, he would have no tan line.
That's true.
But that is a white ass.
That is quite
on
a
very
white ass.
tan body. Let us continue. I think it's a kid.
You think it's a kid?
But I love that it could be a hobbit. Yeah, I do think it's a small child.
Maybe it's a hobbit with a diaper on?
Who had a diaper on up until 5 minutes before this was taken? Like, why is he so tan?
Well, because what is really happening right here is all his little hobbit friends are in the bushes. He's like, guys, check this out. I'm going to streak in front of you assholes. And so he runs out and streaks, and all his friends are in the bushes like, oh, yeah!
That's what I hope is happening.
Off in the bushes, and then, so the hobbits are just totally fucking with him.
I hope that that's what is happening. Or it's some, like, an indigenous, you know... branch of man that has yet to be discovered that is just hiding out here and lives out here, but, you know, realizes that they need to cover up their junk from time to time.
Yeah.
And also have senses of humor. That is funny. And then he's gone, he runs into the bushes, and then they go after him. Yeah. The rest of the film is them just trying to find him again, and they never see him again.
Yeah.
Well, that was interesting. I think...
So on your scale of 1 to 10 of being impressed, where are you at?
I feel kind of bad because I really want, like, I don't want to, like, put my skeptic hat on too much and be like, come on, guys. But, like, I love that they tie in a legend that's very common in their area, in their culture. I love that they even have a hobbit, you know, myth that circulates around. I think that's really cool. I don't think that that's a hobbit. I think it's a little kid, which worries me. Why is a little kid naked in the middle of, but it...
Now, to be fair, he was sprinting because he was outrunning a dude on a motorbike.
He was running very fast, but the motorbike, relative to the stuff going by, didn't look like it was going that fast. It looked like the kid was running full sprint, looking back. But, he ran like he had run before, but it was the tan line thing that really got me. Like, if this was somebody who had been naked all the time, he wouldn't have had a tan line.
Yeah.
And, I don't think it was CG, but I do kind of think that maybe it was somebody who was in the bushes and then the cameraman looks down and then he jumps out. Or maybe we just don't catch it in frame. It could be anything. But, even though I don't think it was something outside of documented, biology, I still always, as always, love to think that it was.
Yeah.
So I would say it's like a 3 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. We went backwards, guys. We had some pretty
But that's okay
videos.
Because, it lays it out there that it could still be really interesting, even if it's not paranormal or bizarre or in some way. Like, that video, let's put in a constant in place of that variable of what is that and say it's a small child. What the hell? Why is there a naked small child just chilling in the middle of a dirt path?
Yeah.
Like, I have questions. So, that even being, let's put that in there. And it's still okay. An interesting kind of situation. But if you want to replace that variable with, we don't know what that is, all the more fun.
Totally.
Different set of questions. That's all. So thank you very much for sending that in, guys.
Yeah, and keep sending them in. And if, like we said last time, if you have a ghost story or something you want to write us and tell us your ghost story, maybe we'll read it on air. Send us cool, crazy videos. Like and rate us on iTunes because it really helps people find us. You can rate us on Stitcher and TuneIn as well if that's where you listen to us. Mm-hmm. You can find us on Instagram at Tales from the Fog and Facebook at Tales from the Fog. You can follow Veronica on Instagram at
Veronica Voices.
And that's it for today. So until next time, we'll see you in the fog.
Bye, guys.
Bye.